Okay, I'm gonna tell you on this project right now, what were the top 5 most expensive parts of this flip for us? One was roof. The roof was almost $30,000. Why was that the case? Because you have to replace the sheathing. And if the sheeting is bad on the roof, so if it's drenched in water, if there's mold, mildew, that sort of thing, that has to come off and you have to put new stuff down. As you know, with inflation, plywood is very expensive. Anything is really expensive, but plywood for sure. Number 2, windows. So these are metal windows. They are dual pane. They're actually insulated, which is great. They actually function really well. However, when you have change in temperature, right, you can get humidity inside of here. And then what happens is eventually the gaskets blow out and then you're replacing the panes of windows. You have to do argon gas. It's a big process. So what we're doing instead is we're actually doing, it's similar to Renewal by Andersen, but what they do is they actually cut the window out, and then instead of doing the whole nail fin and having to take the siding and all that off, you just put these window units in and then they screw it into the existing frame, caulk everything up, winterize, proof, weatherproof it all, and then it just looks and works perfectly. And that's how you get a new window in without spending 2 to 3 times the amount, okay? That's number 2. Number 3 would have to be pest abatement. And you're thinking, well, shoot, what are you doing? Just putting lime out in front of your house or something, or around the property? Actually, we took, I think, like 20 dead bodies of rats just from the attic alone. It was crazy. But you have to take out all the insulation when you have that, because they've peed, they've pooped, they've done it. Sorry for my potty language, but they've done it all up there, right? So that all has to come out. You have to put a new insulation in, which is very expensive, has to meet code, all those fun things. Somebody has to get up there and do it. We also had to do the crawl space, and the crawl space, both of those combined was about $16,000, $17,000. So I'm standing on top of this massive pile of wood chips. This was this really big cedar stump that had completely rotten out. And so we're trying to clean this up a little bit here. And this is my number 5 thing, right? So the arborists came in here. The quote's about $19,000 or so. And they're literally helping us limb up the trees to 25 feet. They had to take out some really big cedars that were starting to rot out in the middle. And it's unfortunate, but sometimes you gotta do that. It's a kind of a conscious thing, right? Because if you're not here and somebody else comes in and you don't want a tree falling on their house, it just do nothing for you. So I'm glad I had this little guy on my shoulder tell me. Now look at this thing here. This is Carlton. This is my new best friend, right? Carlton has a remote control. Like, you think your remote control car is cool? Wait until you see this thing work. And what this does is a stump grinder. So you can literally be safe when you're grinding stumps, and you just move this thing along and it goes and takes out a stump like that in 2 seconds.